Hello and welcome back to Goose Gaming. What we've got today is Britannic Patroness of the Mediterranean. Now again, this came out a couple of years ago, and I have had a quick look at it and sort of wandered around and thought it's a fantastic resource to show a little bit about the ship, Titanic's lost sister ship. As I'm sure most people are aware, there was 3 Olympic-class liners: the Olympic, the Titanic, and the Britannic. 2 met an untimely end, and Britannic was the second one to sink in the Mediterranean during the First World War as a hospital ship. So let's have a little tour of the ship. Let's do it as a hospital ship. So we've got a few places we could go. Let's go to the forward grand staircase. I think that's a popular place where most people can recognise, or at least seen a picture, if not in a film. And this will be of its sister, Olympic or Titanic. And here we can see the Britannic. I mean, look at this. This is obviously in a HMHS, His Majesty's Hospital ship at the time. So a lot of everything has just been taken away or hidden. Obviously we've still got the massive glass dome. That wasn't removed. But a lot of the intricate woodwork has just been taken away. Panelling, tongue and groove put up. Linoleum, simple floors put down. So I think we're going to have to go down the stairs. Oh, press T to toggle info boxes. So let's press T. Britannic's pipe organ was removed during her wartime service, which is why it survives today. The casing, however, was still plainly visible. So this was the only ship of the 3 to have an organ in the grand staircase there. There was a picture of the king. Is there as well. And you can see lots of stowage and places around. Out of bounds for patients, it says there on the wall. That's pretty cool. Because again, there would still be certain decks that patients can go on, the staff of the ship can go on, you know, the officers, the deckhands, as well as the crew, as well as obviously all the medical staff, the doctors, the nurses, and everybody else there. These passenger corridors remained relatively unchanged. Again, because it was pretty basic to start with. Pretty narrow as well. Squeeze through. Oh, into the enclosed promenade there. Going back again. I mean, it is remarkable that the guys did with this. It was the Honour and Glory guys who started and released this. I know it's been 10 plus years. They're working hard on the Titanic one, but it's nice that they could give us a little bit, along with the 401, a little bit of something to look forward to in this Britannic Patroness of the sea. And again, fantastic look over the forecastle there, looking right out over the bow, and that's still Mediterranean water. I mean, look at that wood, the wooden frame they got going around there. That is fantastic. You can just see it like it's been varnished. A lot of detail goes into these games, and that's why it takes so long. Quite eerie. Whenever there's no NPCs or actual characters or anybody, it's quite eerie when there's no one about there. Lonely. Oh, these are fun. Tell me, for the most part though, not entirely, a decade above was off limits to wounded soldiers. Like we said earlier on, there is a famous photo of 3 nurses standing in front of the notice, just like this one on the aft. On the wall through the photo was taken the aft grand staircase, of course, because there's 2. Many people don't realise the forward and the aft grand staircases that existed on the ship, and you could go right through to each of them through long corridors on certain levels. Devoted storage, yeah, absolutely. So you can see there's these very thin, squeezing through to go through, and all these bits and bobs. You can imagine the conversion that Harland and Wolff did, and I'm pretty sure Britannic was sort of finished off as a passenger liner, ready to go, and then she was requisitioned by the British military and converted over, and it must have taken a lot. You just can't imagine the man hours that was spent. Yeah, fantastic woodwork here on all these smaller cabins. You can still see the grandeur, even though she's a hospital ship and she have thousands of injured and casualties of war from the Mediterranean and the Dardanelles campaign. But you can really see, and you can see through these windows, the davits with the lifeboats on. And of course, extra lifeboats. And Britannic was quite special that she had some massive lifeboat cranes and davits, especially towards the back of the ship on the boat deck. Actually, let's see if we can see that now. Let's go back to the ship. Majesty's hostile ship. Exterior? I wonder how far we can get around walking this. Okay. Ah! And speak of the devil, this is exactly what I was talking about. These are humongous davits that would then be used for these lifeboats. And the lifeboats were stored, yeah, exactly, picture paint 1,000 words, on top of each other. And let's move away a little bit. Oh, there we go, you can see that one. You know, revolutionary. These giants. I mean, they didn't catch on. There's not many ships that had these on, but when you're carrying this few, thousands of people, and even more, the fact that they were, what we'd now say is, they were disabled. They some were walking wounded, some couldn't move at all without help of others, or aids of crutches, wheelchairs, things like that. Some had lost their limbs. So the other big thing is it's fine having all these lifeboats, but the key thing is having the time to actually launch them all. Titanic sank in relatively quite a long time it took for it to actually founder, and most of the lifeboats had time to be launched. But there's many other ships out there, including the Britannic, who sank very quickly. And I'm just trying to think. The Lusitania sank very quickly. But sometimes you just, with all the will in the world, you don't have enough time to launch all of these lifeboats. Getting them hooked up, just getting them filled with people who are scared and panicking. It's great to have them, and you always hope for a situation that you can use them all and get everyone else off. But looking through naval history, and it's really interesting to see the speed that ships have sunk, sometimes in 15-20 minutes. And if you were down the bottom deck 15-20 minutes once you realise what's going on, isn't enough time. But these are just huge. A really good and obvious idea, and the industrial nature of them. They are just massive davits. Okay, so you see if we can get on the bridge. Here we go. Navigating bridge. While this area was primarily used when near land, it did contain the main telegraphs for sending engine orders and other commands. The helm here was connected to the wheelhouse via shafts and gears. Yeah. And you got them. Oh, this is the detail in this is excellent. Not just the quality but also the information. And let's see if we can just look out. There we go. So the officers on the deck looking out. We've seen this very scene at 11:40 on the 14th of April 1912 as an iceberg loomed after 3 bells were rung. Look down there to the well deck and the cargo hatches. It's brilliant. And the wheelhouse. Go out to the wing. A little bit there. That will help. There's a famous photo, I think, of Captain Smith popping out his head on one of those on the Titanic when he was at Queenstown, I think it was. And there's the officers' promenade. And again, the quality of this, the music is in the background. The lighting was so well done. And this is a few years old now. You know, at the time now, we're in 2025, and I think this was 2020, 2021 that this came out. It really does give you a sense of the peace and the tranquility of the sunset. It's probably quite warm as well. Oh, you see we've got the Red Cross flying. And that's to do with its paint scheme as well, to make sure that this wasn't a target for U-boats or other ships and things, to show this was a hospital ship. And it's against the rules to fire upon a hospital ship. Unfortunately, mines have their own rules. Fantastic colours of the setting sun. Is that the full funnel? Yeah, or is it right at the back of the ship again? I'm not sure if we can... No, I think we're... Oh, we can! Fans like this were used to ventilate into a centrifugal fan driven by a motor inside the casing. Fresh air to the engine room far below, absolutely. Ooh, I bet we can't climb up there. Oh. There we go. So we're looking up. Okay, can we get down again? Ah, great. So this is the aft world deck. Oh, I see. Yeah, here we are. Right on the stern of the ship. Oh, the light, come on. Nice. Oh, it's getting darker. I'm pretty sure this building at the end here is the morgue. Ah, there we go. So obviously this, for those that have seen the film, wouldn't have been on the Titanic or the Olympic. And this is where Jack first met Rose, at the back here. But it's a morgue, because unfortunately, soldiers, sailors, airmen, whoever, would have died on the ship and had to have been catered for. And this is the enclosed, see above. Wow, that's pretty impressive. With the lights on. And again, the lights playing a key part to show that we are a hospital ship. Do not fire upon us. And there would have been set colours and... Oh, here we go, right. Just walking up and down over these expansion joints. Yeah. Right. There we go. As it says there, these extra bulkheads, these walls put across the proms, so they can be used for officers. To separate the officers from the enlisted men. Oh, that's sort of Aurora Borealis. Lights in the sky. I mean, I'm watching this right now on a very large monitor. And it is like being there. The quality of this, I won't say game, but it's more historical interest. It is remarkable. The detail that those guys go through. Let's go back up. Walk along the boat deck, sorry, back towards the front of the bow. The reflection, look at that, the texture. It's really, really well done. the Lewis gun? I can't quite see. Back to the bridge, where the bridge actually looks very well illuminated. I don't think it would have been this well illuminated to try and help with the eyesight of the guys inside, but it's pretty. Like that. Take me to sea. So we'll see what we see. Huh. Having been very fortunate to see the Northern Lights here in England, I can say that they are really, really special, and I feel very lucky to have seen them. Colours. Great. Where else can we get to? So now let's see what else we've got, because I don't really want to go into... So, a suite, some accommodation on the ship. First class accommodation, obviously, and look what we're met with. Intricate plaster mouldings, electric lights, fantastically vibrant carpets. Though smaller than the deluxe parlour or regal suite, the Georgian suite on sea deck still commands one of the highest ticket prices on the ship. And it's just such a shame. I don't think anyone ever slept in it before it was converted. Obviously, we're still in Belfast a year before. I don't think we can get out those tiny doors. Look how bright that is with gold colours. Gold. I don't know if it's gold leaf or what, but pretty stunning set of rooms. Oh. Loading. Any of you Stronghold fans out there? Ah, the forward grand staircase. So we saw it earlier on in its wartime. And here it is. Very similar. Very similar to the Titanic. Like an Honour and Glory crowning time on the Titanic. I'm not sure if that's the same. And there we see the large musical organ, which was then taken out. And looks like, yeah, it's an automatic. So it plays itself, as probably what we can hear now. Quite imposing, and it takes up a lot of room. It comes out quite deep. 5 foot? Maybe, I've got no real scale, but it comes out a long way. So it does make it a little bit more intimate in this massive room. But also the use of different colours that the Titanic had, you know, of lino, of tiles, and carpets and rugs. But that music would really fill up this area. Going on to the promenade. I can't go any further down. There's cleverly spaced items in the way. How you doing, Gary? But yeah, something that is not out of place from most people's consciousness in the last 25 years. Got some lovely light coming in down here. Fantastic. So the sinking starting at midpoint. So I'm not sure what this will allow me to do. If I can move around. There we go. Oh, look here. Oh, well already you can see we're at a slight angle. So we must have been hit on this side. Lifeboats gone. See the davits swung. Oh, and they're coming back. So you see those massive davits coming back up. Are they going to get more boats on? So these chains should be empty. Yep, they should be empty. Just going back to their resting position. Again, the Britannic didn't really take long to sink. I'm not sure the exact time. I'd hate to say it and be proved wrong. But, it did not take long, and it really wasn't far away. Really wasn't far away, and that's one of the things the captain did try to beach. So the engines were still going, so the propellers were still going, and then unfortunately some lifeboats were launched and sucked into the propeller. There's a famous person called Violet Jessup who survived the Titanic. She survived the Olympic and HMS Hawk's collision, and she also survived the Britannic too. She was, I think she was in one of the boats that was sucked towards the propellers, and then she was knocked off or knocked out. It's quite a remarkable woman. Yeah, in a short amount of time, was that 4 years, 1911 to 1965 years. You just hear the strains and the groans of the great ship and all that metalwork as it's going under a lot of stress. And there's the water's coming over into the well deck. You can see the angle, and again some of the beds. Every piece of space was used for the wounded. One of the things they say is thank God it was hit going to collect wounded rather than on its way back, with thousands of people on board, most in not a fit state to try and escape a sinking ship. It's hard enough when you're able-bodied. Yeah, this game, again, not a game, interactive historical piece of media. It is fantastic. I really recommend it to anybody. This was just a little snapshot at Britannic Patroness of the Mediterranean. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope I've encouraged people to go and find it on Steam and download it, but also read up about it. She is the forgotten sister, as she was often named. Very interesting, very sad, and if you look at, I say, probably some of the most beautiful ships ever made.